I'm going to show you guys all how to use the layer masks that don't know how to do that. It's a pretty cool trick and it comes in handy a lot of times. So first off, when I start editing, I don't ever edit on the background layer. I always can create a new layer. That way if I have to erase part of what I'm doing or change anything, I don't have to revert it back to the original. I just erase that part and then the original layer is under it, and so we're good. So I will hit Control J. A layer mask is nice for a lot of different reasons in different scenarios, but when you're working with a large group of people and they have different skin tones, it comes in handy a lot of times, especially babies. Toddlers are more fair-skinned than, parents and older siblings. But for this case, I was trying to find a better example, but I haven't really been working much because I just had a baby. So this is what I have. But you can see sisters, brother, and mom, all their skin tones are all pretty similar. Just baby's red, and then down here mom's neck and chest area is red. So that's what I want to fix. I've already completed this picture, so I'll just show you this part of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is come in and do a color balance layer, and I need to pull the reds back because it's too much red, which that looks okay, probably about 10. So then I'm going to do a layer mask, which is what this little button down here does. And what this does is you use your paintbrush now to paint the layer on and off. So if you look at the siblings and mom, they look too blue now, but baby looks okay compared to what it was before, so you can see the difference. So since it's just such a little portion, I'm going to be painting on just baby and then right here on mom. I'm actually going to invert this. So to invert it is Control I. Now if I was just taking it off of baby and I wanted the whole entire picture to have it, then I wouldn't have done that step. Because it would be less to just erase it off baby's face than to, add it everywhere else. But for this case, it's reversed. So I'm going to use my white paintbrush because that paints your layer on. So I'm just going to come here on baby's face and just paint it on, and then mom's chest. So you can see the difference that made, which I think baby's lips are probably gonna need some color added. So I would do my white paintbrush here and just paint it back on her lips. So then it's just affecting the face and the top of the head, and then I would come in here and do the headband as well to add some color back in there. So you can see the difference that makes there. And so that's kind of not maybe the best example of a layer mask, but you can change the opacity. I think baby needs a little bit more red, so I'd probably put it about there. But that's a layer mask. And then I also pulled up this one here. So another reason I do a layer mask would be like with newborns. I haven't done anything to this picture, it's just how it came. But I would create a layer first, and then I use portraiture. So then I would just run that, and then I have a keyboard shortcut for that. So I'm going to run that and let it load. And so you can see it's over the entire image, which I don't want it everywhere. So I'm going to turn that into a layer mask. And I'm going to come in here and use my black paintbrush because I want to brush it off of certain parts. So I'd come in here and brush it off of her outfit because I want the texture back in it. So just come in here and brush it off, and then I also do the fingers. I don't like to lose all the little wrinkles and dimples, so I'd come in here and kind of erase it off of there. And then her lips, I don't want it on her lips, or her eyelash line, or her eyebrows. And then around her nose too, because I want to see her nose shape. And then sometimes I do right there. The other thing I will do sometimes is come in here along the jawline so it doesn't get lost. Because sometimes portraiture can kind of just smooth it all out. And then her bracelet, I would brush it off of that. And then I would come in here and do her little toes too. Maybe her ankle, get some of her little wrinkles back. And then I would come up to her hair, because I don't want to lose the texture of her hair, and the headband. And then I just brush it off. And the nice thing about doing a layer mask too is it's going to be softer. So if I were just to erase all this off, then it's harder to fill back in, because then you're trying to redo it. But with the layer mask, you can just come in here, and if you make a mistake, like say I accidentally did too much on her hair and I want it back, then I just paint it back on, or I can take it right back off. With your eraser, when you erase it, then it's harder to get it back on and flip back and forth. So that's how you use layer masks. So you can see the before and after with the layer mask. So you can see all the parts that I left it off of, and even now if I want to go back in and paint it on or off, I still can. So that's how you use layer masks. And the other thing, which let me see if I have, I'll just do this for teaching sake. So say I wanted to move her head to a different picture, and I'll just stick it here. So you can see this around here, I didn't cut it very well. So you can also turn this into a layer mask. So when you paste it on your new picture, actually here, let me undo the layer mask and I'll show you the difference. So if I use my eraser, now say I go too far, then I have to step back. But if you do the layer mask, it's going to give you an easier, softer way to go back and forth. So if I want to erase all this, I just come in here and erase it. Although I don't think it's not erasing now. Let's redo it. I think I might have thrown it off. So paste it and then do a layer mask. And then I come in here and I would erase all this. And then so I just sloppily erasing it. And then I want to come back in with a smaller brush and add the detail up here and get the shadow on her face. So it's nice when you have to do head swaps, because you can come in here and paint it on and off easier. So you just flip back. So come in here around her little hairs and do all that. So that is how you use a layer mask. I'm sure there's other ways people use it, but those are just the main ways I do. So I hope that helps everybody.